Yeah, it's a bit of a flowy class, I would say. So like every Monday morning, we start standing up. So just getting a little bit of movement in the body to begin. So just gonna swing the arms. You really can do whatever you like here. So and as we are moving, we're still connecting with the breath and being mindful of the whole body, being mindful if we're holding tension anywhere. So just as you move, just noticing how you feel this morning. Even noticing where you feel any, I don't know, maybe some discomforts or maybe a little stiffness. Yeah, just note how you feel. I'm just going to swing the arms up and down. Some big deep breaths here. Relax the face. I'm just crossing my arms over the body now. I'm just crossing one arm over and then the other arm over the front. Just going across the body. Feel or notice how it feels in the shoulders. Notice what's going on now in the belly. Are you holding your breath or are you clenching around the belly? Just let all that go. I'm going to open up the legs a little wider and just move and wiggle the hips from side to side. Like I said, if you can do whatever movement you want. So now I'm doing less movement in the legs and a little bit more movement in the hips. Just wiggling the hips from side to side. And then I'm going to bring the feet together. Just give a little hop. So you're just like shaking the body. So my feet are not coming off the floor. I'm just giving the body a little shake. Raising arms, shake the arms, bring them down by the side, get a little wiggle. Now a big breath through the nose, get grounded down through the feet, find that nice standing posture, feet grounded down, maybe taking the weight of your pelvis and maybe rocking back, moving back that weight into your heels. But spread the toes nice and wide and feel the weight evenly distributed on both feet, but perhaps a small amount more weight in the heels. Now take some breaths here. Perhaps you'll notice that your chin is jutted out a little bit. So bring that in. So just pushing the chin back and feel the neck nice and long in the back. And again, come back to the breath here. Sometimes when we start to focus, we start to hold our breath or breathe very shallow. Let that go. And perhaps roll the shoulders up now and squeeze them behind and let the shoulder blades come and relax nicely on your back body. And I like to have my palms facing forward. You just give that chest a little extra opening here. I have my eyes closed, but you can keep your eyes open if you want, and just some nice, easy breaths here. See if you can stand with a little more ease, a little less effort. Perhaps you may want to feel like you're, with the feet pressed still in the floor, like you're rotating the feet out to the sides a little bit. And you may notice that you have a little bit of more opening in the legs here, or that especially if you're someone that's similar to me who has knees that would like to come more together. I like to feel that rotation in my feet and moving with the feet. And feel the legs with an external rotation in the hips here. So now we're going to bring the arms up to the sides. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Come up on the tippy toes this time. So why not come up on the tippy toes? See how your body wants to. So do your feet want to come out to the sides? Do they want to fall in? Try, and the arms can come down if you want. Try to balance and all those metatarsals of the toes. So those spongy parts under the toes. Woo! So my feet want to come out like this. So I'm really focusing on keeping the feet nice and straight. I'm going to try to bring the arms up. And then, woo, exhale. Try to slowly come down. And now bring the arms behind you, clasp the hands. Bring the hands down towards the floor. Take a breath here. And now, if you can, take a breath, exhale, and take the hands away from the bum. One more breath. And then exhale. Bring the arms down. And again, arms out to the side. Big inhale. And exhale. Nice and slow. I'm going to bring the arms up. Keep the ribs where they are. I'm going to bring the arms a little closer together. And exhale down. And now arms shoulder width distance apart, palms facing towards one another, arms up. Only as far as you can get the arms without the ribs coming along. And exhale down. Bringing the arms again up to the sides. Inhale up. You can come up on the tippy toes if you want. And exhale down. Take the other pinky now behind, on the bottom. Reach the arms down towards the floor. Take a breath. Exhale. Take the arms away from the bum. Another breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Release. I'm going to bring the feet together. Bring the arms again overhead. Inhale. And now exhale. I'm going to take the left arm, or just exhale now without. And I'm just holding the left wrist with the right arm. And like I'm between two panes of glass, I'm just going to have a nice side body stretch with the feet together. And keep breathing. Don't clench your face. Exhale, come up. Let the arms come down. Take a breath here. Exhale, bring the arms up. And then take the wrist with the other arm and side body stretch. So you're really just wanting that to really get that stretch between the top of the hip and the rib, bottom of the rib. So you're just coming over like you're between two panes of glass. And if you can't reach your arms or anything, don't worry. You don't have to hold the wrist if you don't want to. Just gently holding the wrist, coming over to the side. Take a breath. Don't force anything here. And exhale. Come up. And take the arms down again. Inhale now. We're going to open the arms nice and wide out to your sides. And exhale, cross the arms over. We're coming into that eagle arms. Keep the shoulders down from the ears. Just bringing the backs of the arms together. And with the arm that's on the bottom, I'm going to take the hand. So I'm wrapping that hand around the other hand. And now I'm just going to pull that arm with the hand gently down to the side. So rotating that. Really, you're just rotating that arm and the shoulder a little. Take some breaths here. Don't be forcing anything. Nothing should be causing any discomfort or pain here. Take a breath. And relax. And now inhale, I'm taking the arms just down lower this time. Reaching back, feel the shoulder blades coming together. A couple breaths. And then exhale, bring the other arm on the bottom now. Shoulders down away from the ears. And now I'm going to take that arm on the bottom and bring that palm so that I can just kind of clap my fingers on the palm and bring that arm down then to the left. And taking some breaths here. And release. Just going to bring the chin now down towards the chest, let the head hang. I like to have my arms, my palms open up to the side, or open up to the front, sorry. And then we're going to take the chin. So when we're pushing the head back to come up to center, just think about keeping the head, the neck long in the back when you come up. And then I'm just going to bring my chin up towards the sky. Take a breath. Relax the shoulders and the face. And come down to center, gently looking over the left. Perhaps tucking the chin a little. Take a breath. Exhale, come up, turn to look the other way. Breath in, tuck the chin a little. Take a breath here. And exhale, come up, look forward, and then just a little tick-tock from side to side. Staying with your calm, gentle breath. And let the belly expand on your inhale. One more tick-tock. So now, I just want you to take your hands, put them onto your ribs. So we're just going to do a little twist. So just twisting to the left. Take a breath. Exhale, twist towards the right. So again, I'm just twisting from my ribs. Everything, my pelvis stays where it is. Take a breath. And again, just to quit the left. And coming over to the right. And then coming forward. Take some breaths here. Now let's get into some mobility in the hips. So we're just going to start with some hip circles. So pushing down on the left, keep that hip in. Putting the weight a little bit extra in the heels. So when I say weight in heels, what I mean is just making sure that the bum goes back, okay, a little. So spread those toes wide. And now I'm going to come up onto just holding this hip in and just bring the knee up. I'm bringing the knee up, not so that the pelvis is coming up. The pelvis is probably going to move a little bit. No worries. Just bring your knee up and then open the leg as wide as it can go. So I'm not opening where my whole body is moving. I'm just externally rotating in the leg in the hip socket. So I'm just pushing back, and then my knee is going down towards the floor and coming in. And if you need a wall for this, please hold a wall. So I may as well. So getting a lot of work on this standing leg and the hip to really try to keep that hip in, and just getting some nice rotations now in the hip socket. And come down, and we'll just do on the other side. So give that a little shake. So, and the feet are about hip width distance apart. So you're going to know wherever it feels comfortable for you. So I'm just going to keep this hip in, come up, raising this knee, opening the leg. So I'm just opening the leg, bringing the knee down towards the floor and close. Up, open, knee towards the floor and close. My hip is starting to come out. I need to remind the hip to stay in. And down. It's a bit easier to hold on to something here. Up and open, really feeling that, trying to get the femur bone to be moving, circling circling, circling in the hip socket, okay? That's probably enough of those. Give that a little shake. Take a breath. So come to the top of our mats. I'm going to put the weight into my right leg. I'm going to lift the knee just like I did. And now, slow and in control, without the hip popping out, I want to try to get this leg and step it back. And as you do that, put your hands onto your hip bones. Notice your pelvis, right? So hold, maybe just come down again. So just notice your pelvis. So notice the hip bones here. You can even feel all around coming down. That's your pelvis. And so what happens when we go to put our foot back, just notice in your body what happens. So if you put the foot way back, you're going to notice that, yeah, the pelvis tipped down a bit on this side, right? So let's just push up again. And now I want to have that, I'm going to make my step back. I'm trying to not have that pelvis go tilt so far down. I'm trying to really keep my pelvis neutral, okay? So really try to avoid it. It's going to tilt a little bit, more than likely, but I don't want my foot so back that this pelvis is really, or this hip bone is really pointed down towards the floor, okay? So just keeping that in mind, stepping back. And I'm standing here straight back, okay? The front foot, the knee is over the ankle. I don't have a huge stance here right now. I don't need to. Now I'm touching my ASISs again and I'm noticing, yeah, they're pretty straight. One is not down, okay? So here I'm up on my back toe. And again, just to get some mobility in the hip, I'm really just bringing the heel down towards the floor. Okay, so I'm keeping this knee nice and steady. And again, should remind you to plug the hip in. So a lot of times when we're in this, the hips are going out to the side, plug this femur in, so this big leg bone into the hip socket, and 2 of your hips should come forward. And I'm just bringing that heel down towards the floor. But it's more about bringing this back of the thigh up towards the ceiling, okay? You'll notice a difference when you think of it that way. So as your heel is coming down to the floor, you're feeling that this thigh, back your thigh, is like moving up towards the ceiling, okay? So just doing those a few times. Staying with the breath. And relax. So we're in this kind of warrior 2 position. We'll bring the arms up. Inhale, arms up. Don't bring the ribs. And now exhale the arms, and as you do, you're going to be coming up. You're going to push off the back leg and come up to your standing leg. And then you're going to come down. You can bring the arms up. And then we're just practicing this warrior 3. So coming up like you're taking a ski jump, and then you can bring the leg back, bring the arms up. If that's too much with the arms, you don't have to. You can have the arms on the hips. And you don't have to come up into the full expression of warrior 3, but let's get some nice work on that top leg and just pushing off and coming down. So you're trying to keep that knee at the top and the front leg over your ankle when you come up. So, and come down. Nice to have a wall next to you to catch you if you need some support. And come down, so you're just moving with your breath here. Take a breath. Exhale, come up. You can try to push that heel back, but honestly, if you're only coming up like this much, that's fine too. Still, nice, beautiful work on the hip. So we'll do one more if you want to try to come to the full expression of the warrior 3 or Virabhadrasana 3. Here it is, kind of. I have a bookshelf in my way. Come down and stand. Give it a shake. Come back to your breath. So staying at the top of your mat, and now putting the weight into your, I just put my left back. Yeah, so putting the weight into your left leg. Just getting a sense of having that hip pushed in, right? Not letting it come out. Bringing the knee up towards the chest. Take a breath. Exhale, slow, hands on the AS-axis. Notice it now because both legs will be different. So notice what's happening. Like I said, if you feel your pelvis is like really rotating down towards the floor, maybe just have a shorter stance for now. Plugging this leg in. So, and what I'm trying to do here is when I'm plugging that front leg in, because a lot of times we can be out to the side when we come into this like lunge, and so I want the hips forward, okay? So just pressing the heel down towards the floor, but really envisioning the back of the thigh coming up towards the ceiling. Use a wall to hold if you need. Knee over the ankle in the front, really pressing down through feet there. A couple more. And next inhale, bring the arms up. Warrior two, or my version of warrior two. A warrior two, sometimes people like to come and put an angle on their foot here. That's what you want to do, you can, but I like this expression of the pose. And now we're going to spring off the back foot, keep the knee over the top ankle. You're not keeping that knee bent, but you don't want to come way over. So you just, and bring the arms down, bring the arms up and down. And so you're just practicing that. Okay, so you're just coming off the foot, coming up, coming down, up, down, inhale, exhale, up, inhale, down, and then you can try to come a little further where you're pushing the heel, your back heel out, and then come down. So just practicing that back and forth. Really pushing down for that top foot, and when you push off, you really should be feeling all the stability around your glutes and around that standing leg. Okay, nice and strong. You're pushing off, and you're really feeling that leg being really nice and strong for you, and your ankles as well. Let's just do one more. Take a breath in. Bring the arms up. Exhale. And now if you want to try, you can come into that. You can have the arms forward by your side. And come down. You can hold it if you want, but I was getting a bit shaky. Nice. Strong hips now. Take some breaths. So we're going to come into this lunge again. But if you want to have something under your knee, I'll just show you. You don't have to have this, but because we're going to be doing some lunges, we're going to be coming down and up and down and up. So if coming to the floor, this might help if you don't want to come all the way to the floor, okay, to have something there for your knee to come down on. So first, I'll just come into the top of your mat, put the weight into the left leg. Let's raise the right knee, just like we did, raising the knee, stepping it back, nice and controlled. So what we want to do here is we want to keep, so we're plugging in. So first plug in, make sure those hip bones are forward, plugging the femur in. And now we're going to come down. So we're going to be doing these. But this knee stays over. So we're not coming up and straightening this leg. We're in this lunge with this knee bent, and we're just coming down and pushing out of that top leg to come up. So coming down. So if you wanted to put something here under your knee, it's nice as well, because then you can just come down to here and come up, okay? Come down, push out of the top leg, come up, come down. You can have the arms, the hands wherever you want. I like having them in prayer. Come up, come down, push out of the top leg to push you up. Come down, push up, come down, and push up, And one more, come down and push up. I'm gonna spring off that back leg now to bring it forward. Whew. There we go. Give that a little shake. Take some breaths. Maybe got your heart beating a little bit. Noticing if you hold your breath through any of these movements. So let's just come back to the breath. And we'll come to the other side. So I'm going to step this away this time. So putting our weight into the right, I keep forgetting which one I did, and I'm raising the left leg and then stepping that left leg back. Get situated, get comfortable in this high lunge, knee bent, and I'm going to try to bring this knee down towards the floor. It don't have to come all the way down. Push up out of this leg. So it's like I'm on two skis. I've plugged in. I'm now going to come down on this back leg and push at the front to come up. Push, bring down, push. Down, and push. Hold here, take a breath. Exhale, come down. Push out of the right leg, push. Exhale, come down. Inhale. Exhale, push, come up. One more, come down. Push the leg, push up. And now pivot on that back leg so that you're in high legs. And now we're just going to wiggle the hips back and forth. My feet are forward, but your feet can be out to the sides if that's more comfortable for you. And come back to the breath. I'm going to angle my feet out a little bit now and then come down for a couple squats. We won't be here very long. So pushing the bum back before you go down, pushing the bum back, push the bum back, bending in the knees, keep the knees, push the knees out wide. So if you want to have your hands here, like you're pushing the legs out to your hands, push down now through your heels to your feet and push yourself up. Take a breath. So now we're going to take a breath and come down. So take, inhale, come down, exhale, push. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, come down. Exhale, push. Now moving with your own breath, okay? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more, guys. Inhale. Exhale. Push. And one more, but with a hold. So inhale. Exhale. Come down. Hold. Take a couple breaths here. Push the legs out. Push out of the feet. You're not collapsing. One more breath and push up. Exhale, push up. Awesome, guys. So you can stay in this wide leg, and we're gonna just come into like a tabletop or half forward fold. So you can do this by the wall, or you can come and use your fingertips on the floor. If you have a bolster or pillow, you can use that. So I'm just gonna use my bolster for now. And you can choose your adventure. You'll know as you're coming down. So again, I still want to be pushing the heels back. Your feet are going to go to where they're comfortable, and that's fine. Just make sure the toes are lined up, that you don't have one foot in front of the other, of course. Let's take some breaths. I'm out of breath from talking and doing all of that. So I'm going to push the bum back, and as I push the bum back, I'm going to hold on to my hip bones here, and I just want to make sure I hinge from the hips. So my top of my body is not changing, so I'm not rounding in the upper back. And we can just practice these for a minute. So I'm just hinging at the hips and coming up. And the whole time, I like having this kind of really strong leg. So I'm not really clenching, but I like having that a bit of an external rotation going on in my thighs. So I like kind of that feeling again, like I'm pushing the feet a little bit open. I like to push the hips back, and my knees are not locked. I have a bend in my knees, and I'm just coming down with a straight back. Take a breath and come up. And this time I'm going to come down. So take a breath. Exhale, fold. And I'm going to take my hands now onto my bolster, and I've got like a tabletop back. So you can, you may have to walk it. So when I'm folding over, I'm folding and keeping that about here. So just like a tabletop, you may have to push your bum back, bend in the knees if you need it, just to get that nice tabletop position, okay? So I just have my hands here, and sometimes just let the neck go and just stay here for a second. Again, make sure that you have a bend in your knees. And I'm going to now just bend the one knee and then bend the other. So my bum is going back, my bum is pushed back, and then just bending the one knee and bending in the other. The whole body is kind of moving from left to right. Not holding any tension anywhere, nice relaxed face. Again, if this is too much and you want to do this against a wall, same thing. You can come against the wall and same thing. I'm just moving from side to side, okay? Okay. And before we get up, if you just want to just move that aside and just not even worry about much now, other than just letting the head come towards the floor. You may want to open the legs even wider. Don't hyperextend the knees, okay? Don't lock it at the knees. And then you can just let your head hang towards the floor. I like to have my hands, so just planted on the floor in front of me. And I can just let the head completely go and relax the neck. You can still do a little bit of movement here. I like rocking just a little forward and back. So this nice feeling of being upside down, okay? So take a couple of breaths there. And then to get out, so you're folded over, and to get out, you may want to walk those arms a little forward, the hands a little forward, and put a nice bend in your knees. I like to take my hands by my hips and just come up with a nice straight back. And I'm going to pivot my toes, feet together. Doot, 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 doot. Okay, shake it out, and we're going to come down now to our hands and knees. So to come down, I'm just going to come down into a kneel and come down, place my knees underneath my hips, my hands a bit underneath my shoulders, okay? Wherever is mostly comfortable for you. Open the palms nice and wide, fingers nice and wide, just starting like I always do, just a little bit of movement. You can do this however you want, however is most comfortable for you. I just like swaying my hips from side to side, doing a couple of circles. So going in one direction first, and then going in the other direction. Side to side. Okay, so our hands underneath our shoulders, or maybe a bit in front. Maybe they're not directly. Maybe you like having yours a little wider in shoulder distance. Really, just make sure that you're nice and comfortable. Ribs in, so I don't want the back arching and the bum going up to the sky. Just in neutral pelvis here. Chin tucked in, so The back body or the spine is nice and long. And we're just gonna start with some segmental cat-cows. So I like to have the shoulders kind of like this wrapping motion. So you've seen me do that before. This just wrapping so the shoulders are very stable, the arms and the shoulder sockets are stable. And now we're gonna do the segmental cat-cow. So I'm gonna drop the belly. So I start at the pelvis. I'm gonna bring the tailbone up towards the sky. And so my belly drops. And I'm feeling my belly drop, move towards the chest. And I'm just gonna look up slightly. So I'm not arching my neck, I'm just looking up, no tension on my neck. And now I'm going to start tucking the pelvis under and go up the spine. Feel myself going up the spine as slow as and controlled, as though you can just move up one vertebrae at a time. So now I'm in this cat position. And my head relaxes. I'm going to let it just dangle and I'm looking between my legs. And starting with the pelvis again, I'm going to bring that tailbone up towards the sky and move up my spine. Nice and controlled. So again, don't let yourself collapse on your shoulders here. Push out of your shoulders. And now I'm tucking the pelvis under again. And I'm moving all the way up. Slow, guys. And this makes it quite hard. It's like cat, cow, extreme. And now tucking to bring the pelvis up towards the sky. So you guys move back and forth like that. And you're trying to move really slow because you're thinking about moving up the spine one vertebra at a time. So let's do one more each way. Stay with the breath, guys. Don't forget about the breath. That's most important, is that we are trying to move in ease. You're trying to move with the breath. You're not trying to make this movement hard, okay? And we'll come back down into neutral, and let's go enjoy a child's pose. So I'm gonna open my knees to each side of the mat, bring my feet to meet in the middle, bring the bum back, and outstretch the arms. So if child's pose is not comfortable for you, there are ways to make it more comfy. And one of those ways is to bring the floor up to you. And even if you can reach your head on the floor, sometimes it's still not comfortable. So I love to have a pillow or something to bring the floor up to me. So I like to have this bolster here. And for me, this is way nicer for me. So take some breaths, let the body release into the floor. And if this can't happen for you in child's pose, maybe you want to find that pose that you could really relax in. Take a break. Come back to grounding yourself, coming back to the breath, noticing your breath. And take some full belly breaths here. A place to center yourself again. And a lot of busy movements just then, so you just want to come back. Come back to that place of peace, of ease. Staying here for a few more breaths, okay? Okay, so you can come back onto your hands and knees. We're gonna come into a downward dog, okay? So if you're not up for a downward dog, there are a couple of options. So my hands are, I'm gonna bring them a little forward. So they're ahead of my shoulders, okay? I'm gonna tuck my toes. And if you know that you're not ready for a downward dog, just practicing just the movement. So I'm tucking my toes, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lift my knees and move back. Okay, come down, bring the knees down. Practice lifting the knees again and pushing your bum back, okay? So if you don't wanna come into a full expression of downward dog, no worries, even just practicing them, and actually they are super hard and you're probably super tired doing them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come into my downward dog. I wanna make sure, first of all, my shoulders are nice and stable. So I'm doing that wrapping of the arms. So it's just like, if you wanna even try it standing up, it's just like this wrapping is the best way to put it. And you'll notice that when you do it, your shoulders are very engaged, okay? So nice strong shoulders. And I'm just going to come back into my downward dog. I like to start in this plank and raise my bum up towards the ceiling. It's not about getting your heels to the floor. I'm pedaling it out. Relax the neck, okay? Just let the neck hang. And see if you can find a place of ease in your downward dog, okay? It doesn't have to look perfect. Just really ground into those hands. Feel the neck nice and relaxed. You feel stable in the shoulders. I love to move and pedal my feet in downward dog. You can do this, or you can be stable and just still if you want. It's up to you. You can come up on both. I just like to explore. I like to come up on my knee, up on my tippy toes and push my bum back. So just a little movement. Sometimes I like to bring one heel to the floor, which causes my other knee to really bend, and I do this little twist. So I'm looking under, I bend my right knee and look under my left shoulder. And the same, I'll bring the left knee down, keeping the pelvis still level. I'm not like twisting my pelvis at all, keeping the pelvis level, and then looking under my right arm. Oh, okay. Coming back onto the knees this time. And now this knee, so my right knee, I'm going to pivot that right knee over to the side so that my foot is going to come to this 90-degree angle with my arm, kind of, okay? So when I do that, I'm just coming up onto this foot, so I got the full foot pressed down into the earth. If your foot does not do that and you're up on the side, no worries. Now we're in a side plank. So I'm gonna move my hand a little bit so it's kind of in line with my leg. I want a nice big line, okay? So hips are stacked here, knee stacked, and I'm just letting this leg come down. If you want, you can extend that right arm up, take a breath, and then exhale, we're doing some little twists. So just in the vertebrae, the thoracic spine here, and then inhale, twist, reach the arm up to, don't twist, reach the arm up towards the ceiling, take a breath. Exhale, bring the arm between, bring the hand between or underneath your other arm, but just twisting so much as your thoracic spine or your ribs will twist, okay? So pelvis staying loose. Breathe in and breathe out, twist. Breathe in and breathe out, twist. And breathe in, arm up in the air, and perhaps this time you can reach that top leg up in the air too. Then you can bring that arm around to your ear and stretch the heel, stretch out through the arm. Don't collapse in the shoulder like I was just doing. And now I'm gonna bring the knee in towards the elbow. And press out and come down. Shake it out. And we're going to move on to the upper side. So on hands and knees. And this time I'm going to pivot the left. So I'm just on my knee, just keeping on my knee, and I'm just pivoting that foot behind me, bringing that arm so that it's lined up pretty much with the knee or wherever is comfortable for you. This other foot is, the foot is onto the floor. I'm just stretching up and really lifting up here, okay, in the pelvis. So I'm like, I'm not just collapsing down here, I'm lifting up, lifting out of that shoulder, arm up towards the ceiling. Take a breath, get comfy here. So nice and easy. And now we're going to do a couple twists. So inhale, exhale, twist and reach. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And hold. And now see, or you may want to see if you can reach the leg, point that heel, and bring that other arm over your ear and reach. And you can bring the knee, if you want, towards the elbow. And reach. And come down. Maybe you need a little child's pose here. So come into your child's pose. Whatever version is best for you. Some people don't have their legs to each side of the mat. You can just come down with your legs together as well. So coming back to your breath. Notice what happened. Were you holding your breath through that? Or are you feeling really out of breath? Tune into the heartbeat. What's happening? So as usual, I am going over time with what I had planned. But we will just fit in a couple more things. So we're going to come up and lay on our side. So come up out of your child's pose, take a couple breaths more if you need it. And we're going to have a pillow ready for under our heads, and we're going to lay down on our sides. Okay, so I'm coming down and I just want to bring my head here, make sure that my shoulders are stacked. So I don't want to be here, I don't want the shoulder to be too far back. Okay, so just try to stack your shoulders as best you can. Stack your knees one on top of the other. You don't want one knee out and one knee like further in. Stack them. This arm can be out long. I like having my arm out long. Okay, so we're going to go into these crabs. But what I want you to do is take your top arm and just put between your leg here so that you can kind of feel these muscles on the inside of your leg. You may or may not, we'll just see. And as we're doing, we're going to do some crabs, but as you're doing the crab, sometimes when we do crabs, the muscles engage in the inside of our thigh, but we really want to focus the work coming from the outside. So I'm asking you to put your brain into this lateral part of your hip and just think about that lifting your leg. And the reason why I said put your hand here, because sometimes you'll be able to tell if these muscles are doing the lifting. And if those are the only muscles that are doing the lifting, we don't want that. We want these hip muscles to do the lifting. The only reason why is that sometimes we could tell, oh my gosh, these muscles are doing all the work, but we want these. And it's not like, I'm not saying that you could absolutely control that, but at this stage, just notice what happens. So I like to have sometimes my hands here as well, just to remind these muscles to engage. So I'm not opening as wide as I can. I don't want to open so that my pelvis starts to rock. I'm keeping my pelvis still, okay? So they're very small crabs. So just opening and closing. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep the knees together this time and open the legs or open the feet. Okay, still focusing on the movement here, muscles engaged here. And then I'm going to bring the foot down and just open my knee again. And bring that knee down and just open the leg, open the feet. And come down, open the leg. And breathing, of course. So I like to breathe, move with the breath. So open, breath in, exhale. Usually you do the exhale on the forced movements. So you probably inhale here and exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. And we'll just do one more on each side or on each way. And one more. And relax. And take a couple breaths. And we're going to move to the other side. So you guys just push yourself up. Roll over or move to the other side of your mat. Line everything up, shoulders stacked, knees stacked. You can have your knees at a 90 degrees. Some people like having them a little in more than a 90. I think it's okay either way. And again, whether you want your hand here between your legs or just here to remind these muscles to engage to lift your leg. And what you're going to notice now is your bottom leg. And on the other side, you probably did this as well, but you're going to notice it on your bottom leg now as you start working it, but you'll notice how much that leg is also clenching to do the work with this leg. So I'm just trying to let that leg relax and put all the energy here. And I find on this side, for whatever reason, I still feel like there's a little more, not more, but a little bit of engagement inside of my thigh. So just very gentle, again, move with your breath. So you're going to take a breath in with the legs closed. Exhale, open. Relax your face. Slow down the breath and then allow the body to move with the breath. Instead of the breath moving with the movement, just take a breath. Exhale, open. Slower is better, okay? And then just hold, take a breath. Exhale, come down. Relax and relax everything. Take a breath. All the energy right here in the hip, around the hip, open, take a breath and close. And now rest. Take a breath, open. And then we're going to the other way, so the open in the legs. So take a breath, exhale, open the feet. Closing the feet, take a breath, exhale, open the legs. So move with your own breath here. Really starting to slow everything down. So do one more of each. And then we're ready to move right into Shavasana. So getting all comfy for that. And one little tip I'll give you today, that if you're laying on your back, it happens to me a bit. So if you're laying on your back and you notice that your chin, you're most comfortable up like this, so that your neck is compressed here a little bit and your chin is going up towards the ceiling. You want this neck to be nice and long, right? So this is why we say, like, tuck the chin in. So as you notice there now, your neck is nice and long. That's really how your neck should be when you're standing. But you notice when you put down your neck, your chest may want to lift, right? A little bit. So press the ribs down. Press all the ribs down. I have my knees bent. And then if the head still wants to come up, just put a little tiny, and you may not need it very thick, but just enough so that you are comfortable with the neck being nice and long in the back. You may want to place, if you're on your back, putting your shoulder blades, feeling them nice and flat against the back. Open your arms so that the palms are faced up towards the ceiling. I like having my knees bent just because I know I'm giving my psoas muscles a nice release and relax here. But most people do like to have their legs straight out. So however, you could be doing whatever you want here. You're at home, it's your shavasana, your time. So closing your eyes. And come back to the sensations of the body, whatever they may be. Do you feel relaxed? If not, what are the places where you feel tension? These are probably the places that you habitually hold tension and stress, perhaps. Just notice those places. For some, it's between the eyes and it's in the face, in the jaw, and in around the forehead. So you want to release all of that little space between the teeth. Eyes relaxed. Forehead, scalp, even the scalp. Feeling a release. Release in the muscles. Inviting your muscles to just let go. From the top of the head, you're going to move down the back body and ask all your body parts, all the muscles, to just let go and release. So the top of the head, around the neck, the back of the neck, and into the shoulders. Into the shoulder blades. Everything that makes up the shoulder girdle. So all these muscles that are all intertwined. You're asking them now, you can just relax. You have nothing to do but relax in the next few minutes. So that feeling moves down your arms as though that you could almost barely feel that you have arms. So you just let them release as much as possible. Moving down the back body, allowing all the muscles of the back, all the muscles that keep our spine stable and strong. Invite them to relax. Moving down to the pelvis. Allowing the pelvis and all the muscles around the pelvis and the muscles joining our spine to our legs. to relax. And the backs of your legs. And your heels, your feet, all those. So many muscles in the feet. Allow them to let go. And allow those muscles in the front of your shoulders and in the chest. Ask them. Ask your muscles to relax, to let go. Moving down into the front and around the belly. Pelvic floor. The tops of our legs. The kneecaps, and moving down into the shins. All those muscles in the front of our body. Now we are asking to let go and release. Paying a little attention to the breath. Ensuring space for the belly to move up and down as we inhale and exhale. Allowing even some of our thoughts to just let go. Those thoughts that creep into our minds that are unwanted. Like cutting a cord. Cutting a cord and letting those thoughts recede. And to allow the thoughts of our true self to come in the forefront of our minds, of our lives.